What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson. Yes, Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. You can call me the Ferg if you want. I grew up as the Ferg. And if you notice, before the word Ferg, I said the Ferg or the Ferg, because even as a young person, I used to think there's only one of me. So it's not like Ferg, it was the Ferg. And in my very first vehicle, my license plate said the Ferg. Now that doesn't mean I'm a narcissist. That doesn't mean that I was all caught up in myself. Well, kinda I was at that time. But anyway, I am going to be joined by the one and only Hammer Girl, Lisa Marie, and we're going to talk about this thing called life. So I'm not going to waste much time. You can contact both of us. So if you look down, you can reach out to Lisa, go to her website. You can reach out to me, go to my website. We have this new program that's called the Gut Reset, which we'll talk a little bit about. And then we're just going to talk about life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a short little video for you as an introduction. Because someone who I used to just love his music, I still love his music, said it so clear. Because at the end of the day, whatever the situation is, when it's going well and when it's not going well, it's this thing called life. Without further delay, watch this short clip and then I'll bring in the one and only Hammer Girl.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Oh no, let's go! You don't lie. The world we're living in. Take a look around. At least you got friends. So come on, lady. Oh, friendly world. Picked up the phone, dropped it on the floor. Was all I heard. Are we gonna let the elevator bring us down? Oh no, let's go crazy. Let's get enough. Slip from the permanent to put up a hit at you. Let's go! Come on, baby.
Well, there you go. This thing called life, Lisa Marie. What do you think of that? Oh, we got you on mute, Lisa Marie. We got you on mute.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, let's go crazy.
Let's go crazy. Like, think about like the words, this thing called life.
Yeah.
Man. And I love how receptive you were when I sent you the message earlier. And I said, hey, you said, well, what are we going to talk about today? I go, well, let's talk about life. And you're like, sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
I mean, man, who's not dealing with it? I mean, whether it's going to buy some groceries and you find out that the eggs are 30% more expensive, or you decide you're going to go get some gas, at least in California where I'm at, it's never under $5 a gallon.
I know.
Like, what are you guys paying?
What was it? I don't know. It keeps changing. It's under $5. It's under $5 a gallon here. It's been a week. I think it was like 350 something.
Yeah. So for those of you who are catching us live, Darlene, Diane, Mama Rico, Justine, what are you guys paying? What is gas in your area? I would love to know. And also when you type in what you're paying for gas, let us know what city and state you're in. Because according to Joe Biden, we don't have a problem with, the economy's rocking.
I was just listening to a podcast earlier that was saying that compared to, just a few years ago, you have to be making at least an extra $11,000 a year to, be where you were at.
Wow.
A few years ago.
I mean, that's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
What's that? I'm not. I gotta take out my calculator. But what is that a month?
Jeez. So Sandy is in Post Falls, Idaho. She's paying $3.69 a gallon.
Wow. Yeah, that's about what I'm paying.
Okay.
Like
And
that.
we're paying over $5
That's crazy.
a gallon. Yeah. And everybody's wondering why people are. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of people leaving New York as well as I've been seeing people leaving California like crazy.
Yeah. And the gas prices are different here. Like when I go to like drop my son off at his dad's house, it's actually a lot cheaper. It's like 329, around 329, 330. So I try and like, oh, mom is paying $4.
And
I
that's
don't know what it
premium.
is today.
Jeez. I
Crazy.
mean,
So
people, I
it's like
mean,
so $11,000 extra a year is an extra $916 a month.
wow.
Mm,
I mean, that's a lot.
it is, right?
Man. Like, have you ever seen this movie or heard of a movie called Soya or Soylent? Jeez, I'm forgetting
Soylent
the
Green.
name. Yeah, Soylent Green. Did we talk about that?
I don't think we have.
So, are you aware of that movie?
I've never seen it.
Okay. If you go on YouTube, you guys, and you look up Soylent Green, when I was a little kid, I mean, tiny kid, I mean, I kind of remember it. So I went back a few weeks ago and I found it on YouTube and I watched it. I mean, it's old, but Charleston Heston is like the main star of the movie. And it's all based on a prediction, right? So the film comes out in 1973 and it's based on what life is going to be like right now.
Mm,
And New York is where the focus is in the movie, and it's overpopulated. You have the rich and the poor. So people in this movie, they're buying jam, like a little jar of jam for like $300 in 1973. And the poor people, which is almost everybody, there's no food really. We're overpopulated. Sound familiar? Right? We're overpopulated and they're getting this food. And you later find out, not to be a spoiler, that the food is made from people who die.
mm.
So we're eating people. We have no money. There's no jobs. Everything is just absolutely chaos. Um, and it's a prediction of what's supposed to come.
Yeah. I mean,
Jesus.
it's like you don't. I mean, where's Mama? I see Chef JJ. Chef JJ. She knows all about the food and what's in there. Those are some conversations that take place over on Telegram. A lot of that type of stuff. What they're really doing. What's in the food that we're eating.
Ooh. Well, I mean, you saw the governor of Florida, DeSantis, wrote a bill last week where he blocked lab grown meat from being sold in Florida. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah. So he's the first governor to say, no, we're not eating that. So the lab grown meat is moving forward. And the goal is that these companies, which Bill Gates is one of the main owners, they want to be able to put put chicken, lab grown steak next to all the other steaks and not tell you that it's lab grown. So
Well,
that's,
you see like that a lot too. Like people are already talking about that with like a lot of the meats, like there was just recently something, I don't know if somebody in the comment section knows, but there was something about the meats specifically with Walmart. And then didn't we, when we were on Telegram like a few weeks ago, somebody mentioned that who was it? Mentioned that it wasn't USDA approved. There was some meat. And I'm like, yeah, you want to stay away from that meat. You
oh
don't even
yeah,
know.
I remember seeing
I
that.
forget.
Yes.
But like you even see it with like I saw some videos of the people getting ice cream from Walmart, like the strawberry shortcake pot, like or the ice cream cones that you can get, the freezer ones, and
Hmm.
they put them on their counter and like they don't melt. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
pretty.
real
Yeah.
ice cream.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know. It's a whole bunch of chemicals. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, it can sit there on. You could put it on your counter or on your kitchen table, and every day for a few days, it will look the same, smell the same, and like you said, it doesn't melt.
No,
Like, what the hell is going on?
I don't know, but I think we're about to find out soon.
Well,
I
we
think.
either it's about to get worse, or you're right. We're about to find out.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see. So Justine Craven says there was a mockumentary on UK television about lab-grown human meat people selling pieces of their flesh so they could grow steaks. Oh my goodness. It's happening. And the people who aren't informed really have no idea that this is happening. Like when I talked to my mom, I mentioned lab-grown meat. She goes, "What's that?" She's never heard of it. She has no idea about it. And what
Hmm.
happens is she'll go to the store and she'll buy lab-grown meat. Let's say it's chicken, go home and cook it and go, something's not right. It's not cooking the way I'm used to it cooking.
Yeah.
And just think maybe that meat is bad. And then the next day she'll continue moving forward and maybe she'll get that meat again. And after a while, you get indoctrinated. Next thing you know, you forget what the chicken used to look like when you cooked it. And you just assume that you got to cook it differently. You see how that can happen?
Yeah.
Now that's scary.
It is.
Yes, very scary. Now, I mentioned to you also, like I have this article that I'm going to make available tomorrow.
Hmm.
And it's an article that is taking me about, and it's not long. I think you read it, right? Or you kind of looked at it.
I did.
Um, and I titled it, and the title could change based on this conversation. The root cause of many health issues has been revealed. And I'm just going to read what I posted originally, and I just kind of kept that as the thesis. It says, let's say you have not been able to figure out why you're tired most of the time, or that you can't seem to lose weight even though you are eating right. Would you want to know what the root cause is? So I want to break that down and I want to go to you and get your thoughts. So the
Okay.
first part of the question was or is, let's say you have not been able to figure out why you're tired most of the time. Have you heard people saying they're tired most of the time?
I hear that a lot.
Okay, so for those who are listening to us and catching us live, is that you? Are we talking about you? Do you feel like you're more tired now than normal? That would be interesting to get people's feedback on that.
Hmm.
And so we'll wait on you guys to respond to that. And then it goes on to say what or that you can't seem to be losing weight though you're eating right. How often do you hear that, Lisa?
Oh, I hear that a lot. I'm doing everything right.
So when you're meeting someone and they're possibly going to become your client, and I know you hear this, they'll say, "I don't understand, Lisa. I'm eating healthy. I just the weight's not coming off."
What do I? What do
Yeah, what do
I?
you say? Like, what comes to mind when you hear people? Because I know I hear that a lot as well.
Um. Well, different things come to mind. Like first, it's like, well, what let's take a look at what you're eating. So we kind of just start there, um, with their food, with their portion, with how they're eating and how they're combining it. But then, like other things that come to mind for me, are things like, so gut, um, uh, molds. I think that mold in the homes in our environment is a big part, which all affects the gut and the microbiome as well. And
I hope you
different,
guys are hearing what Lisa's saying. I hope you're hearing that because that wasn't nutrition, but that definitely affects your ability to lose weight and your overall health.
mhm. um, and then I just think it's our what we're missing in our foods. There's different supplement vitamins, nutrients, minerals. I think that all plays a part in it. um Medications. I mean, I can just go down a list of all different things. What do you say about that?
Well, I mean, I'm with you. It's like that's the benefit of someone getting a free consultation with you, right? And you can kind of hear what they have going on. And sometimes, even in a free consultation, we could give a couple of tips, and a person would go, huh. And then they could apply that,
Hmm.
and then they could check in a month. And sometimes they actually start getting results. It was one thing that they were missing.
Yeah.
And you advise them in 5 minutes, they apply it, they get results. Now, I know that most of the results aren't lasting. That's the reason why they would benefit to become your client, so they can be checking in with you on a regular basis.
Hmm.
But a lot of times people are just doing things that they think is helping them, but is not helping them.
Yeah.
And I love what you said, that sometimes they're just not getting something that could be helping them. And
Hmm.
because they're not getting it, then that could be the reason. And that's why I wrote this article.
Yeah. Well, I think it all
Because
plays in. It's like, did you watch that documentary? I know we were talking about it, that Netflix documentary on the microbiome.
mm, yeah, we haven't talked about that. So
You
I
haven't.
watched it. I watched the whole thing.
That was a good, that I think that was, I think they did a really good job on that one.
It was good. It was very general.
It was
Uh,
general.
yeah, the main authors are amazing. The two doctors from Stanford, the husband and wife. I have their original book. I follow them. They are awesome as far as their studies.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I think that, yeah. So I thought it was great for someone who doesn't know anything about the gut to be introduced to gut health.
I agree. And it,
Okay,
it like it wasn't like one of those documentaries where it was like completely, biased. I thought there was really good information in there for people who don't understand the gut. And
I
that was
agree.
it, like even with those certain bacterias, right, that come into play when people aren't losing weight. Like, it was so interesting. I love talking
Now,
about the gut though.
so what's the name of it so that those who haven't watched it, because it's on Netflix, everyone. So,
Hold on,
um,
let me look it up.
so Lisa's gonna look it up so we can lead you in the right direction. If you haven't watched it, my recommendation is don't watch it when you're tired, because Lisa will be excited about what they're talking about, so it would wake her up. If you're new to the gut microbiome and you watch it and you're a little sleepy, it may put you to sleep. Okay.
I know that stuff doesn't put me to sleep. It's
No, I
called
mean
Hack
it
Your
wakes
Health.
you up.
Yeah, it does. It's like, oh, like that's something new. Like I was like thinking about that in terms of like people that I'm working with too. Like learning about that specific bacteria that
Yeah.
is a cause for, people doing everything right and not being able to lose the weight. Thought that was
N-
really interesting.
Now they talked about bifidobacteria a lot, right?
Hmm. They
Did
talked
did
about
I
the.
for did I forward you the study or a tweet from Dr. Sabine talking about the bifida?
I don't know, but I have her book. I've read. I follow
Okay,
her on
this just
Twitter.
came out, so I will forward it to you. Basically, there was another study that came out that proved everything we were talking about 2-3 years ago
Hmm.
about how the vaccines damaged bifidobacteria,
Hmm.
etc. Came out. So she retweeted it, and she was like, "I've been saying this for years," and I was like, "Me, Lisa, and some of us have been sharing this with people for some years now."
Hmm.
And finally, you can mention the truth about it and not be blocked on YouTube or Instagram. The truth is now being able to be shared.
I know we're heading in the right direction as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. So thank goodness for that. So you guys watch the documentary. The name of it again, Lisa?
Is Hack Your Health:
Okay. Hack Your Health.
The Secrets of Your Gut.
Well, there you go.
Hmm?
So you want to get your gut. Sometimes you got to get your gut healthy before you can get everything else healthy.
Yeah.
And if you get on it now, you'll know more than most doctors. Let me tell you that.
Well, it's even in there too. Like they're talking about like where like I think a lot of people are concerned with parasites and all of this different stuff, but they were mentioning too. We talk about how many. I love the challenge that like we have with how many different variety of fruits and vegetables are you eating in a week, right? And like they were even saying, you should have at least 20 to 30. I think it was in that film. 20 to 30, different fruits and vegetables every week. I wonder how many. I mean, the majority of us are not getting that much,
No,
you know?
no. Most people are eating the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's where they thrive. That's why, like the keto type of diets and the carnivore and all these things, they're so simple. It makes it easy for people, right?
Mhm.
Because the average person, I mean, I remember doing work in Missouri in 2014 with under-resourced, underserved communities. And I remember having a cantaloupe in my hand and holding the cantaloupe up and asking these young kids in this, you know, kind of poor neighborhood, what was this fruit?
Mhm.
And no one knew. They had never seen cantaloupe. And
Yeah.
I've heard stories where kids see an apple for the first time at maybe 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah.
So this is happening. People, I mean, we all get it and we can get comfortable in our little circles and assume that people are choosing not to eat fruits and vegetables. But many people have never seen some of these fruits and vegetables,
I know. And
which
then you
is
get like all
crazy.
of the headed, like, and then there's the other part of it, right? So like when you mentioned apples, so it's like there's quercetin in apples. And so you're not just getting that quercetin, like a lot of people I know are talking about quercetin and, taking that as a supplement, but you're also getting the added benefits from eating the actual whole apple. You're getting the quercetin and added benefits to that.
Right. And all the
Yeah.
pectin in the apple and all those benefits.
Yeah.
This is where I I mean, you know my thoughts on this. Like I'm okay with supplements,
Hmm.
but I'm bothered by the industry where all these companies are just pushing supplements instead of pushing food.
Yeah.
And they wonder why I unfriend some of these people.
And it's like, I was just having like a conversation with someone about, um, like one, it's like, I always say, like, well, why are you taking that supplement? Right? Like, so, like, what's the like, what did you, because a lot of times though, people just hear, oh, you need to take this, and that. Okay. Well, what is the purpose of you taking it? And then, like people will look on, let's say Amazon, but I say never buy any supplements from Amazon. Um, unless you really, really have to. But people will then look at like, well, like 38,000 people say this is a great supplement. And then I always think of like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I just don't, kind of trust my own research and looking into different companies, especially supplement companies, because like they're not overseen by anything. Like you don't know really what you're getting with a lot of supplements. And
Mhm.
so then you have like you don't know, like you go look at Amazon, you look at these reviews, but then I say to myself, well, which influencer is out there promoting this supplement right now? You know what I mean? Like that's
Mhm.
I kind of look at things like that. Um I'll do research on it. I love to do my research on stuff, but um I always say first, like, well, why are you on it? What's that supplement doing for you? Like, what's the purpose? A
And
lot of
most
times
people,
people don't know.
no, they don't know. I would bet you that 99.5% of people, when they recommend a supplement, they're recommending it because they have a vested interest,
Hmm.
because maybe it's a network marketing company, It could be Amway. It could be, I mean, there's a lot of them, right? Airbon,
Yeah.
uh, Herbalife. I mean, there's a whole bunch of companies out there, and most of those people selling these supplements do not really know um, if that is a real legit supplement.
Right.
And I watch people, Lisa, and this is the only part about the internet that I don't like is watching these people. Because once I got with Modere, right, and I was on their science board,
Mm.
I had a lot of new friends and allowed to have new Facebook friends that are in network marketing. So, and I like these people because I met a lot of them in person. And so they continue to be my friends on Facebook. So I see some of their posts and I want to like their posts, but I can't like it because I can't get behind the lies that they're pushing.
Yeah, it's because they don't know. Like, I mean, that's how I met you. I met you through Modere, right? I
Hmm.
met you. Well, I didn't even meet you at that conference.
Oh, I thought we met at a club one night. Oh, okay. I'm getting you mixed up with some.
Yeah, somebody else.
Yeah, I thought
Um,
we were at Disco 20.
no, but you had your fancy jacket on, like you were going out
That's
to a club.
right.
Um, but I think that I love people in network marketing. Like
Yes, I do too.
I really do. Like, I mean, those are like my people in so many ways because they like they get into something, like they go all in. It's a team of people kind of cheering you on, right? You have so much support. I have met so many amazing people through network marketing. And I think like a lot
Oh, did I lose you?
is right, like somebody got them to take it. Oh, you froze up.
I froze, but
Um,
you froze. No, you
so
froze.
you froze on my end. Who froze?
Okay.
Some write it in the comments. Did we both freeze?
Yeah, I think we
Um,
both froze. No, I'm with you.
but
I agree. The
you
net
do
people.
it because like you want to help. You just get into it, and then there's just
Mhm.
that whole vibe behind it, right? And it's just like, yeah, we're helping people. We want to help people. It's just like I finally found what I want to do, and I want to help people. And you think you're doing a good thing, but you're in there like emotionally. You're not really. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Yeah,
um,
I think it
you
was the right. I mean, I'm with. I agree. I agree. Uh, I agree with you 100%, and it couldn't have been said any better because in network marketing, like my time with Modere was
mhm,
really fun meeting like real people from all over the world
yeah,
and sitting down, laughing, talking about things. That part was extremely fun, and I definitely like that.
me
The
too.
only thing I hope is that people like Modere they have a good collagen,
Mm,
and and that was kind of cool to be able to come together to promote something that we know has scientific backing.
yeah.
Yeah, that
And that's
part was
still
really
something
cool.
that I take. I just found another way to take it.
Yeah, which
Um,
I'm gonna share that very soon. I'm gonna do a whole I'm gonna do a breakdown on how instead of paying $150 a month, you can get the same exact thing in collagen for $25 a month.
I think, like, I mean, and that's the thing too, because then, like, once you even learn that, it's like, how can you, like, because I was struggling. I mean, that collagen, that is like the best collagen. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, anybody that I've ever, that's kind of what brought me to Modere. But, and I still take it. Um, but it was hard coming up with that money every month, especially nowadays where you need an extra $900 a month just to live, you know? Um, but I met like so many, like amazing people in that. And people who pushed me. Right? Like I don't think I would be on here with you being able to talk in front of people if not for being involved in network marketing and, having like Margie, um, um, just people who like had a belief and like faith in you. You know what I mean? Like, and
Oh
we're
yeah.
truly, um, like I remember like one time like her asking me to, lead one of her like mastermind calls, or talk about this. I actually talked about you on like that first time I did that was about that conference and what stuck out to me the most. And I mentioned you. Like that was just you talking about body composition and it just like, man, that made sense. I never understood it like that before. Um so it's like it's that support. It's like that camaraderie, right? And
Hmm.
having a goal to like want to help people. But then, like certain things, once you start becoming aware, like now it's hard for me to get behind. Um, like I really have to like I don't know. It's hard for me to just recommend something to somebody, right? Like in the past, it was like, oh yeah, take a spoonful of this and you'll lose weight, But now I know better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when you know better, you do better, or you try to.
Yeah.
But I think that supplements have. I think I was just sharing with you. So I was one of the things that I want to work on that I'm starting to work on is um medications and supplementation. Did I talk to you about that?
I mean, we've talked about many things.
Uh, I know. So, like, there's certain medications, like prescription medications that people are on that they don't understand that it also depletes certain vitamins and minerals in your body. So, like, they
Hmm.
have, let's say you're taking one drug and it depletes, magnesium. So instead of taking magnesium or your physician advising you to take magnesium or checking your magnesium levels, they give you another drug to, um, to supplement those side effects. But nothing of what your body really needs. It's deficient in something because that
Right.
medication is leaching those minerals. So that's something that I'm working on right now. I'm putting
Okay.
together a whole list of different, medications and what vitamins and minerals and stuff that depletes in your body.
Well, it's kind of like what we were talking about. I don't know, last week or the week before, but when I did a post and I was sharing, or I asked a question, does anyone know what eventually happens if you're taking blood pressure medication for over 20 years?
Mm,
And no one who was taking blood pressure medication for over 20 years knew the answer. And their doctors never brought it up because everything is based on helping things not get worse based on your blood pressure.
mhm,
But where all that stemmed from was in 2011. I was in Columbus, Ohio, and I was one of the keynote speakers with three other physicians. And one of the physicians gave a talk and he talked about his father, who was also a physician. And his father in his 40s came down with high blood pressure.
mhm,
So he started taking blood pressure medication, and 35 years goes by. Now his dad has some kidney problems. So he's having kidney failure. So he ends up on dialysis. And I had the opportunity to speak with both of them when they were both alive. And both of them told me that the reason why his kidneys failed was because he had been taking this blood pressure medication for over 30 years. They both said that.
mhm,
And his father ended up dying as a result of dialysis. And I had done a post. When I did that post on Facebook, I had a few people push back on me and they said, "Hey, you're putting out misinformation." And I said, "I'm not
yeah,
putting out misinformation. I'm just asking a question. Do you know what eventually can happen if you're taking these medications for 20 plus years?" And no one knew. And then these people were making their comments. I looked at one of them was a physician. So of course she's protecting herself and she had high blood pressure for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And then I shared a study that took place a couple years ago from the University of Virginia, where physicians and researchers said, not me, they said in their research that blood pressure drugs may be a leading cause for kidney damage.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of it like that. I'm actually going through that right now with a family member, with kidney issues, high blood pressure, medication. Um, Now, thankfully, he's gone to like a functional doctor who's amazing. And she saw, like she put the connection with the medication, or also like now got to check like his thyroid, because that your thyroid actually what is it? It regulates your blood and your pressure and stuff like that. So, but he hasn't been on it for like that long, like, but it's interesting you brought that up.
Yeah.
And like it's like people say, well, I saw those comments in there and I'm like, oh, as soon as you post things like that, I like always just go straight to the comments, because I'm like, oh, what are people going to say? Because a lot of people have a hard time hearing that. Well, I've been on it for 20, 30 years and I have no guinea. It's like the same thing with vaccines. We all got vaccines. Well, you know what? We all didn't get 75 vaccines by the time we're 5 years old. We have to be able to take a look at, not just say, I mean, and here's the kicker is that how do you know all of the health problems that you're experiencing, all these different systems aren't from the medications that you've been taking, the vaccines you got when you were 10 years old. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. And I think we're learning that, we've been misinformed by some of these people.
Yes. And by the way,
I see
Mama,
it. Thanks, mama.
thank you. All right. So before we go over to Telegram, um, Lisa, we've known each other for a while, right?
Yep.
And I love that you are as real one on one in our conversations as you are live. Like you are like the real deal.
Thanks.
And people feel that when they hear you talk. That's why they like you. Because Hammer Girl is not just gonna say yes. She's not just a yes person.
I'm not.
And I love that about. So when I share things with you and I run things across you, I hope you realize that I respect and value your opinion, because I know you're not a yes person.
Thank you.
So and if you never realize, I just hope you really clearly get that, because I
I
love having friends and people that I work with that are not yes people.
Yeah. Well, we have to challenge each other sometimes, right? Like, I mean, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know everything. I don't know everything either. So it's like like I'll come to you, like, well, what do you think about this? Like I don't,
yeah, I mean
and
that
then
that's also the reason why I don't have a girlfriend.
like, why is that? Because
I'm
what?
I really don't know. I'm just trying to be funny.
Okay.
Just trying to
Um.
break it up a little bit. But
Oh, and I meant to say, like you were talking about your Ferg in the beginning, but people missed your Ferg song that you gave to me behind the
that's
scenes.
right. The Ferg song. What's up, everybody? You want me to rap? Come on. Like I love what Mama Rico says. That's why we call her Hammer Girl. She brings down the hammer.
Aw,
And you know that, Lisa, you would never hurt my feelings if you ever said, Robert, I hear your excitement about something. I feel you're passionate about it, but you know what? I'm not getting what you're seeing. Like I
yeah,
would be totally cool with that, because then you and I would have ongoing
be a
dialogue.
conversation.
Yeah.
It was like even like the conversation that you had the other day, like I was listening to it and I reached out and I agreed with some of it,
Now, what conversation was that?
That was the one on who somebody was challenging you. I forget who it was. Somebody was challenging you on
Is that my friend who said I was judgmental sometimes?
yes, that one.
And you know what? I mean, I appreciate her. I've known this woman for over 20 years, and she's very humble. She don't even know how to explain how amazing she is based on the training she's had.
Mhm.
Um, because I got some of the training that she has, and I'm telling you, like if you saw this, like when you come to California and visit, um, the leaders of this university are no longer there, but they put on these events all the time. And if you remind me, because I believe you're going to come to California soon, and when you come, I just want to schedule it so that they have a workshop that you and I can go to. It'll be like 2 hour workshop.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most amazing things around psychology or spiritual psychology that you would ever experience.
Yeah. I
And
like
these
that.
people, oh, they got it down. And she worked for 10 years. Not only did she graduate from their university, but she worked with the founders for over 10 years.
Wow.
Like there and guiding people like Marianne Williamson,
Mhm.
um, Tony Robbins, Iyanla Van Zant. I mean, you're talking some very famous popular people that are known for their philosophies and spiritual recommendations. A lot of their training came from this university.
Yeah.
And she was right there. So I love the conversation that we had, because I feel like she helped me that day,
Yeah.
and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for the fact that she's not one of those yes people.
Yeah, it was a great conversation, It really was. It was a really great conversation.
Well, we are going to do it again. Is we're going to do a 3-parter, and it's going
Yeah,
to be about a spirit. We're going to talk about spiritual weight loss and better health.
I love that. I
Yeah.
think that's great.
And if I can get her to open up, because what she doesn't, I got to get this woman, because she would be a great asset to us as if she became part of the team. She has some really good training that she could bring in
Yeah.
that would help all the coaches take their game to the next level.
Yeah. I love that conversation. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to your series. But I told you that. I messaged you that.
Okay.
And you took it very well.
Hey, I'm okay with, I've been eating crow a lot lately, and I'm okay with it. I really am, because you
But we
become
have to.
better.
Like you become better too. And like I mean
Yeah.
that even had me thinking too because um like even like the conversations that we had, and I know like probably one of those conversations that she was talking about you being judgmental was probably one of the conversations that we were having together, like talking about Ozempic and like different things like that. And well, no, it wasn't Ozempic, it was fasting. It was the fasting one,
Yeah,
right, that she was
intermittent
talking
fast.
about.
Well,
And I just think that sometimes, like, like that conversation that you two had also made me look at myself sometimes where, because you forget, like, you just want to help. And then, like, and I know that there's been so much information, like, so many things that, like, especially when it comes to pharma, like in the pharmaceutical industry. That's something that I have been researching since 2003, probably even a little bit before that. But that's what started it. And so, and that's why, like, I even say with like the medications and the supplements and like what it's actually depleting and just kind of sharing that information because you may have to supplement, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think that sometimes too, when it comes off sounding judgmental, but um it's just that passion that's there to want to help cut out the lies that people have been told, I think. And I think it's hard to hear. I think truth is hard to hear sometimes.
It is, especially when you buy into, like, you believe someone. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the parent who goes to school. They get that phone call.
Hmm.
Your kid has done something, and the first thing we do, or at least as a parent, I'm thinking, nah, not my kid. And so I go there, and the principal or whoever is like, well, this is what your daughter did, blah blah blah. I'm like, wait a minute, I think you got the wrong kid. Like I walk in on defense
Yeah.
because I believe my kid wouldn't do that. And I think whether it's taking a vaccine or a medication or believing certain things from authorities that we've given power to,
Yeah.
and we believe they're looking out for our best interests, at first you're like walking in defensive.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then you
And they make you
eventually,
believe, like, you brought that up with, like, the school. I'm just gonna jump in quick on that. Like, but that my son's last year in public school, he was in 3rd grade, he was going into 4th grade. And we had, like, different, he had, behavior intervention plans, like, all of this stuff. And one of the last things that happened in that school, like, you have to trust your kids, right? Like, so the situation that happened was, like, they said that my son was poking another girl with a pencil, right? And my son got suspended. They put him in, like, in school suspension for poking this. They said in art class he was, poking her with a pencil. And I was, of course, like, like, what are you doing? Like, you can't be doing that, like. And I'm thinking, like, the worst of it. So then that that a few weeks later, we're sitting in his IEP meeting, and the teacher that was there had to, like, cover for another teacher to sit in on that meeting, and it happened to be the art teacher. And so we were talking about my son, and I was just like, like, maybe, like, there's some sort of sensory thing where he's just, like, moving or whatever, like, and poking this girl, like. So I brought up the fact that he apparently poked this girl. And the art teacher looks at me and he's like, "He didn't poke her." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "They were fighting back and forth, like, pulling the pencil away from each other." He's like, "He never poked her." But my son got suspended,
mm,
in school suspension for that, and I wasn't believing him because the teacher said that he did that. You know what I mean? Like, and you're not
right.
there. It's like, and ever since then, it's just like, you know what? Listen to your kids. I don't buy nothing that people say now. I'm gonna
Yeah.
trust my kid and do my own research on stuff.
Like get all the information before you.
Right. Because you
Okay,
don't know
well,
who's lying to you
you don't.
and why.
And that's why, like, even the article that I wrote and I sent you, what you'll see is I'll be adding all the citations. So there's 26 citations at this moment that, and for those of you who don't know what I mean by a citation, that means studies or research that supports everything that I say about this article as I share information about um, the importance of making sure you have an adequate amount or a sufficient amount of omega-3, which we didn't talk about and we can talk
Right.
about later.
Hmm.
Um, but the citations makes it where it's real, right? It makes it harder for someone to combat what you're saying. And then, of course, you have your anecdotal or your personal stories and experience that you can share with people that you've actually experienced.
Right.
And then from there, people got to be willing to like give it a shot.
Hmm.
And that's where I love test-based nutrition because then you remove your opinion, my opinion, everyone else's opinion, and we can just look at the data.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I
Now
just have to
before,
make a comment.
yep.
I didn't mean to, like, it looked like I was laughing while you were speaking about that, but I happened to
That's all
glance
right.
over and I read Leith and Leslie's comments. Did you see that comment? It made me chuckle.
so so Leith and Leslie, they're an amazing couple. They just survived the potential of a major tornado in Oklahoma. But I'm looking at her question. And I know Leslie knows the answer to this. Is a protein or a condiment? So so is she referring to crow that you see like on a telephone wire?
No, like you said, I'm eating crow. I have to eat a little crow.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's why I was laughing.
Okay, that's funny. Cause my mind was like, are they eating crow? I mean, hey, I bet there's people who eat crow.
Yeah.
Same as there's people who eat squirrel. And there's people who eat possum.
Mm,
I mean, you ever eat possum?
no.
Okay.
I did try like the I was in Pennsylvania one time and I tried turtle soup. That was disgusting.
There's people who eat turtles.
I was in a we I was my friend's husband was playing, his band was playing, and they were trying turtle soup. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. It was disgusting.
Have you ever had snails?
I
Like what do you
did.
call it? What do you call it in French?
Escargot.
Yeah, escargot.
I
Did
did.
you
I
like
went
it?
no, it wasn't like what I thought. It was mushy. Like I was expecting it to be more like a clam, and it was
Uh,
mushy. I didn't like that
yeah, I didn't
texture.
like it either. Yeah, I didn't like it either. It's like I was like, I can't believe I ate that. I felt this horrible afterward. Like, oh
But when I was down in, I think it was Jamaica, maybe it was Jamaica or I forget where. Like they made like conch fritters. Have you ever had that?
no, what's that?
Um, it's from like the conch shell, like the big shell.
Mm.
I think, I mean, at least they called it conch fritters, so I figured it was from like the conch shells, and that was really good. I think that was
You,
in Jamaica.
you ever eat fingers, human?
No, who knows? Well, I mean, who knows? I could have. It could have been in some of that meat I was eating.
Or dog? You ever eat dog?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe at the Chinese. I don't know. This is what they say, right? You don't know what you're getting.
You don't know. Well, this is great. So there's this thing called life. I mean, and that's what we're talking about. So any of you guys who are there before we say goodbye, we're going to go to Telegram just for a moment, but do you have any questions about nutrition, fitness, mindset, the collaboration of those things that can help you get to where you most want to be? Lisa and I are here to help you because we are talking about life. Uh,
Yep.
and I have a question for Lisa as everybody's thinking about any question they want to ask. But Lisa, if I was a client
Hmm.
and I was a guy and I would come to you and I say, Lisa, I really want to get healthy.
Hmm.
I'm buying all the right foods, I believe, especially after talking to you. But my wife continues to bring in all the things that are tempting and are not helping me. Can
Hmm.
you give me any advice on how to get her on board or to get her to respect the boundaries that I feel like I've set when it comes to nutrition?
Hmm. You know what? I've never been asked that. Um,
Okay.
but I deal with that myself. Sometimes I deal with that myself sometimes, like especially like when I'm around. I think I personally, I think that it's about you, right? Like because there's temptation, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to just be at home. It's at the workplace, like so like that temptation is about you. But um one of the things that like um sometimes I have clients that like have certain uh what do you call it, cravings.
Yeah.
Um but in the beginning I build it in, right? Like so it's like if you like so I will like say like, well, you know what, it would be better if you had this, but if you are really, like you really got to have that, you just have to, have that as part of your meal like this or as a snack, so you can still have it. That's where I start with that.
Okay. I
Does
mean,
that
you
make
do
sense?
realize that most women who are in a relationship with a guy,
Or
one of
not?
their biggest one of their biggest challenges, if their goal is to lose weight, is the person they're living with is not making it easy.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't want to. Like my pastor at church was saying, like his wife, she when he started like losing the weight, like she actually didn't like him like when he was losing the weight.
Yep.
She wanted him to have the weight on, so she did. She made it harder. That's why, like I say too, it's got to be about like you've got to be committed to that because temptation is all around, but God always has a way out.
Now, as a single guy,
Mhm.
I can share something with you. Let's say I meet some woman who is 20 or 30 pounds from her goal,
Mhm.
right? I know for a fact, okay, in my own personal study, right, that if I date her for 3 to 6 months, she's going to lose 20 to 30 pounds.
Right.
I know that.
Because
Now,
she's around you, she's eating what you're eating.
and it's
Is
because I'm not going to be her. You know what I mean? Like, I always believe that when you're in a relationship, and I hope you guys get the point that I'm making. And the point is not about me dating women or if you want to date me just to lose 20 pounds. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that one of the people in the relationship is going to be stronger in what the lifestyle experience will be.
yeah.
And whoever pulls the most, the other person is going to be more like.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not going to be more like where they're at when I meet them, unless they're already in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so if they have 20 or 30 pounds, I don't have to ever mention losing weight. I don't have to talk about losing weight. I just gotta just let time go by, because when you're hanging out with someone and you're watching a Netflix movie, some people are doing Grubhub and ordering the worst thing in the world, or they're eating the worst things that you could eat at night. And I'm not gonna do that. So
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna do it, what I've learned is that most women, at least in my experience, are going to eat what's available, and they're going to actually lean toward what I would call closer to nature or healthier. So in a weird way, what I'm saying, Lisa, is that if men l- drop their guard and just like just allow or just go with what women want,
Yeah.
not all the time, but I would say most of the time, if a guy just goes with what women prefer, the men would actually lose weight and feel better also.
It's like with kids too, right? Like my son eats um I mean he knows too. Protein, carb, fast carb, slow carb, fat, condiment, right? Like but like I don't even have to like it's not like a diet with him. Like, he just he just starts because that's what he knows. Like he knows kind
But
of
but
how to.
mama, you created that though.
Right, well, that's what I'm that but that's how
Yeah.
I kind of took, like, what you're saying too, like, when you're in that relationship like that, like, they start to kinda see what you're doing and, maybe they change that themselves. But if you're cooking it, like, if I'm cooking in my house, like, if you come over, like, like, let's say last tonight I had leftovers, but, like, last night it was chicken, asparagus, and a little bit of pasta. 'Cause
All
I
right.
had
So guys out there, if you date Lisa,
to.
you will get in better shape. If you
Well,
can find some.
you know what's interesting too is that I dated a guy who was all into keto.
Oh, what was that like?
So, well,
Oh, that's a whole show.
it was completely opposite, right? Because he was into keto and he had lost all of this weight on keto, and we would go out and I'm eating. I like my fast carbs, like I do. I have them and there's nothing wrong with it. And he just avoided them. But he's like, no, I can't have them. And I'm, but he was plateaued. And I'm like, dude, that's your carb thresholds.
Right.
I'm like, you need to add more carbs. And it took him a long time. Like, it was like, keto is like a religion to him. Like he had to stay eating like that. And I'm just like, I'm like, try adding some more carbs. I'm like, here, like, have some of my pasta. And eventually he did, and then he started losing the weight. And so then
Wow.
he start like, yeah, like, so he started adding, he just started adding carbs back in. He wouldn't, kind of like how we do that. And he'd take baby steps in adding carbs back in, and he started losing weight again. And so he realized he didn't have to avoid all those carbs. So that was interesting.
Wow. Well,
Hmm.
there you go. I'm telling you. So depending on who you date, you're either gonna gain or you're gonna lose. We should do a whole show on that. You know how they say love is blind, which is a series I like watching with my daughters, which I really actually like. I can't believe I like this series.
I've never seen it.
Oh man. Like my daughters got me into it. It's Love is Blind on Netflix. And it has been a really fun show to watch for my kids. Because it's not vulgar or anything crazy like that. It's not like The Bachelorette where all you see is kissing and tonguing and you
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like it's pretty cool because in the beginning you go into the what they call pods and you get to meet people, but you don't get to see them.
Hmm.
So you get to go on dates that could be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours long, and you're having conversation with someone you don't even know what they look like. And you go on another date and another date, and after 4, 5, 6 days, you start cutting it down, and maybe it comes down to 1, 2, 3 different people that you find yourself liking as far as talking to,
Hmm.
and then you got to pick somebody based on the
The conversation.
conversations you've had. And so if you want to move on in the show, you propose, the guy proposes, and then the lady accepts, and then you get to meet each other for the first time physically.
Hmm.
And then you go into the next part where they put you on a vacation. You get to stay in the same room. You don't have to sleep in the same bed, but you can. But you've fallen for each other emotionally, intellectually.
Yeah.
Now, do you match up physically?
Hmm.
And then if you make it past that part, you go to the third phase where they have you live together based on life, right? The theme
Interesting.
of this show. And you see people, they fall in love intellectually, they meet, there's no physical attraction. Some people have a physical attraction. Then it
Hmm.
moves on, then you live together. Some people, they get to that part, nah, I can't live with this person. But then some of them make it and then they actually get married. And now it's been 6 seasons. My favorite couple got married in the first season and they're still together
That's good.
and they got a baby. And
You
I
have
was like,
invested.
you know what I mean? Like I fell into it. I was like, I love this couple.
Aw.
And I'm watching it with my kids and I'm just cheering for that couple and they're still together.
I feel like I don't know. You're invested. I don't know, Robert.
No, I'm
It's
just saying
good.
if you give it a shot, it's a very interesting show.
Okay. I'll check it out.
And maybe that's the world we live in, right? Get to know someone because oftentimes we meet someone and there's a physical attraction.
Hmm. But
And
there's no
then,
mental.
right, then you find out if you have that,
Hmm.
right? I mean, in my life, I've dated some women physically, I would go, woo. And then they start talking. I go, don't talk. Don't say one more word. Just stare. Because if you talk, it's over. This is not going anywhere. I mean, I'm just kidding, you guys. Don't say that wrong. And I'm sure, look, think about it. You get a guy, I mean, I think Brad Pitt was a good looking guy. Like, I mean, I still think he's a good looking guy. But
Hmm.
you have a guy like Brad Pitt, but then he starts talking and it's nothing but ignorance.
Yeah. It's not attractive.
I've heard women go, dude, don't talk.
So stop.
Take your shirt
Stop.
off and just sit right
Just look there and look pretty.
That's right. Don't talk. Just sit there and just look around. Oh man. Okay. Anyway, we
All
went we
right.
went we went over our hour
But
there.
this was fun.
It
This is
was
different.
good to see you on camera.
I know. Well, see, now it's starting to get dark again. I said, like, that might be a good time for us. Like, I can, because otherwise, remember last time my camera was going in and out?
Yeah, but
It's
the
when
lighting
it's
was
dark
good. The
here.
lighting was great.
Yeah, but now the sun is, starting to get dark here. So maybe like 6:30, 7 o'clock is our time to do that.
All right. Well,
All
do you
right.
have 20? Can we go to Telegram for 20
Yeah,
minutes?
let's go.
All right. So tell everybody where Telegram is.
All right. So you're going to see the link in the comments. Where is it? Down below, right?
Yeah.
So you just click on that link. If you don't have Telegram, like you'll be able to sign up for Telegram, and then once you're in there and you see that link, um, you'll be on the Diet Free Life Telegram channel. And then if you look up at the top right hand corner of your screen, you'll see a join button, and you can come in there and chat with us.
Now, can on Telegram, can I let loose and go off on the whole omega-3 thing?
Oh yeah, you can go off and say whatever you want on Telegram. There's no
Yeah,
what do
cause
they call them? There's no
well, I'm just pissed off. Like every day I wake up
you don't get
pissed
marks
off.
on you. You don't get taken down on Telegram. You can say whatever you want.
Okay, because I'm serious. Every day I wake up pissed off.
Yeah.
Like the last 6 weeks, I'm like frustrated when it
Why?
comes to the importance of omega-3.
Yeah. So let's
And
go
what
talk about
all right. Anyway, I was about to ramble. Thank you. All right, you guys, I'm gonna leave you with the man, the one and only Prince, as he talks about or wrote a whole song about this thing called life. And then just click on the button. We'll see you over in Telegram. Thank you, Lisa, for being real as always.
Thank you.
You are
And thank you
appreciated. I wish you lived in California, but if you
everyone.
can't, if you and your son came to California, you'll be like, I got to get the hell out of here. So
I don't know which is worse, New York or California. I don't know.
I think our common ground is going to be Florida. We got to get to
I
Florida.
know we got to get to Florida. We got to get to a free
No,
state or a
we're going to
free.
make that happen this year. That is the plan. And we're going
Sounds
to
like
invite
a plan.
everyone else. Everybody can come with us and we'll all meet in Florida.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay. Because I have the place for us to all meet. So
All
it
right,
can
let's
happen.
go.
All right. All
All
right, you
right.
guys.
Bye.
What's up, Jerry Van? Jerry Van in the house. We're going to Telegram, you guys. Here's the man, the one and only. They call him Prince. Peace.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Oh no, let's go! You don't lie. The world we're living in. Take a look around. At least you got friends. So come on, lady. Oh, friendly world. Picked up the phone, dropped it on the floor. Was all I heard. Are we gonna let the elevator break us down? Oh no, let's go crazy. Let's get enough. Slip from the permanent to put up a hidden truck.